What's going on, world? This is your girl, Dr. MV, and you have just tuned in to WGSN-DB Radio, going solo after dark, people. This is my podcast, Singles Get Real with Dr. MV. And tonight, people, somebody say tonight, we are going to discuss a topic that I have written in my book, Bride, which stands for Becoming Royal in Daddy's Eyes. And this topic is talked about all over the world. There was even a song that was written about the particular topic. And pretty much tonight, people, I want to talk about she ain't nothing but a gold digger. Yes, that's right. She ain't nothing but a gold digger. I want to talk about that particular topic tonight. Why? Because there's so much hype about it. I mean, Kanye West, he even wrote a song about it. She ain't nothing but a gold digger. Okay, so ladies, I went online and I kind of did some research because that's what I do. And I went on a website called askmen.com. And they pretty much asked different men about the idea of a gold digger, and they gave us the top 10 signs of a gold digger. So I want to share those top 10 signs with you all, my listeners, and I kind of want to give you my personal feedback. I'm pretty sure you have your own ideas regarding the gold digger, but let's dig in and see what men, what do they think about gold diggers, and how that works out in a dating world. Okay, the first top sign that they indicated on AskMen.com is that a gold digger, she has a sense of entitlement. They're saying that she craves status and doesn't have a long-term goal. She feels entitled to live the good life without any need to live a diamond-encrusted finger to achieve it. Ooh. So ladies, men, this is what I have to say about that. You know, at the end of the day, I've said this in a podcast ago, that men respect rules and a need to feel like they've accomplished something. So while yet some of that may be true in a sense, that she craves status and she doesn't have long-term goals, the opposite could be true as well. There are a lot of men out there who don't think long-term, they think very right now and not maybe short-term goals as well. So this is what I have to say. When it comes to men and women, we are two different creatures, but we're meant to complement each other, not compete with each other. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, oftentimes when we get with you, you can either do one or two things for us. You can inspire us to be greater, or you can tear us down to be worse than what we are when we got with you. Feel what I'm saying on that, fellas. When we get with you, maybe we don't have long-term goals, but maybe it was your mission to bring that out in us. Remember, we are carriers by nature, so whatever you deposit on the inside, we're going to carry that thing. So listen, fellas, while she may not have long-term goals when she got with you, I bet you could have the ability to deposit something inside of her that's great, that she didn't even know existed, that could lead her in the right direction. So, yeah. So point number 2. This is what they're saying on AskMen.com. She is out of your league. The guys are saying your ego is boosted when you consider that she's so much hotter than you, but bear in mind that this could be a bad sign. If she is better looking than you have to wonder what she's hoping to gain from the relationship. If you have a fat wallet, it could be a sign that she's hoping to increase her wealth. So this is what I have to say. Looks aren't everything. As men desire for women to be secure in who we are, at the end of the day, the true is said for you as well. You have to be secure in who you are. There are a lot of couples out there where women, we just got it going on. We look better than the man that we're with physically. We look good. I mean, it could be true for the opposite effect, where the man looks good and the woman doesn't look as good. But at the end of the day, are we really just talking about looks? Or are we really talking about something more than looks? So for the men to believe that, if a woman is with you and she's fine, and she's with you, and you have to consider, why is she with me? Well, why did you choose her? It takes two. I always say it takes two to come into agreement for a thing. So at the end of the day, fella, if you're rich and you have a lot of money, or you have status and you don't physically look good, but you chose a woman who physically looks good and she doesn't have as much money as you do, and you still want to put a question mark over her head as to why she's with you, I beg to differ. Why did you choose to be with her? And then because you chose to be with her, and yes, you have a lot of money, is it wrong for her to desire something in addition to your looks as well? There's a bonus with being with somebody. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, why did you choose her? And then you should walk in your security as well, sir. Beyond your looks, what is it more than just your money that you have to offer? Why can't you think that she likes your personality? Maybe you make her laugh. Maybe you bring something great to her life that she never had before outside of your money and outside of your looks. That's all I'm saying. So fellas, you got to walk in your security too. Okay, number 3, AskMen.com. They're saying regarding a gold digger, she climbs boyfriends. Ooh, they came for us, ladies. She climbs boyfriends. They said instead of climbing the corporate ladder, she used boyfriends as stepping stones. You're her promotion to a more fabulous, expensive life. So listen, while that may be true for some, it's not true for all. They're saying instead of her climbing the corporate ladder, she's climbing different men for greater opportunity in life. The same can be true for men who call women sugar mamas, men who don't have a lot of money, men who don't have a lot of status, but they date up, meaning that they date women who have a lot of status, they date women who have more money, they date women who drive nice cars, and they want to drive their cars because they don't have a nice car, that they don't have a car at all, and they call these women their sugar mamas. So the same can be true for men as well. At the end of the day, don't nobody want to date somebody who has nothing. Period. Point blank. If you do, then we have to have a discussion. I question what your intention is in dating. You want to build with someone. You want to grow with someone. So at the end of the day, I can't speak for all women. I can only say that everyone has a different motive. And anytime you get with somebody in a relationship, you're expecting something from that person. Whether you're expecting money, whether you're expecting status, whether you're expecting to have their physical intimacy, whatever it is, you chose to be with that person. So you're expecting something out of that situation. Moving on, number 4. Men are saying she's status obsessed. The gold digger craves status, thinking that she can gain it by how she looks and dress. On dates, she's more likely to appear impressed if men tell her they own an Audi R8 than if they mention that they help out at a soup kitchen. So funny. There are some women who do like men who drive nice vehicles or who live in nice neighborhoods. And then there are many women, and I say many, including myself, who really admire a man who gives his time in the community, a man who is selfless, a man who volunteers in nonprofit organizations to help those who are not able to help themselves, a man who may drive a Camry on Monday through Friday but may have a BMW for the weekend, a man who stays in a 1-bedroom apartment versus a man who stays in a 5-bedroom home with nobody living in it but him and his dog. So you do have more women out there who can appreciate a down-to-earth man. But then you do have some who say, listen, I need you to come up, period. I need you to just display your tangible items on the front end. And is that wrong? Well, who am I to judge? I don't know. All I know, like I said before, is when you get into a relationship, when you choose to go on a date with the individual, you're both in it for something. You're in it for something. And who are we to judge what we're both in it for? You have to be open and communicate up front. This is what I'm looking for, and this is what I'm looking for. And at the end of the day, you make a decision as adults as to if you want to hang in there with that individual. Moving on, point 5. Okay. The guys are saying she uses her looks for short-term gain. She has to get to the front of the line at clubs, so she pops open a button on her cleavage, exposing her top. She doesn't use her looks for long-term goals simply because she doesn't have any. Ooh, so much shade right here. While that may be true regarding this particular example, talking about going out at night, going to the clubs, showing her breasts, etc. Well, guys, the same may be true for you who work out in the gym every single day and you working on your chest, you're working on your biceps and your triceps. And what do? You buy shirts that are extra small. Why? because you want us to pay attention to your muscles. You know what I mean? You don't put on that cheap cologne, sir. You put on that expensive cologne. You don't just come to the club with your hair raggedy. You make sure you hit that barbershop Friday before you go out at night to present your best physical self. So while that may be true for her and it may be working for her, but something you're doing as well that's equivalent in the male perspective to get attention as well. So we got to be fair, guys. We got to be fair. You're also making sure you look good for the cause, as well as she's using her looks to make sure she look good for the cause. At the end of the day, no one wants to walk outside looking like a ragamuffin. You want to look your best, people. All right. Number 6, the guys are saying that she hates other women. They're saying that she is competitive with other desirable women and dislikes their company if they are just as gorgeous or as status endowed as she is. Clearly, her behavior is caught up in her insecurity. So this reminds me of some of the reality TV shows that are out there. VH1 has a lot of different reality TV shows. Housewives of Atlanta. You have Love and Hip Hop, and you have a lot of women on these shows who are throw a lot of verbal shade to one another as castmates. You know, they laugh with one another in a group setting, and then when you see their private interview, they're throwing shade at the castmate, and so there are some insecurities there. The same could be true for guys, but guys make up differently than we women do. And so this may be true for some population of women who are out there, who are insecure with who they are. So they present a false image on the outside, but the inside predicts another story. At the end of the day, it goes back to the guy who's attracting this kind of a woman. If you know and you see up front, sir, that this woman has some insecurities, but she's pretty on the outside, and you still choose to pick her up. You still choose to take her out. You, my friend, you, sir, have an additional motive as well. That's not good. Because you're selecting somebody who's already giving you red flags, and she's already giving you the flags of she may not be potentially long term, but you're choosing to make her a part of your present. You're choosing to make her short term. So the question goes back to you. What's your motive, sir? What's your motive? Hey guys, this is your girl, Dr. MV, and you are tuned in to Singles Get Real with Dr. MV. And right now, I am going to go to a quick commercial break. And when we return, we're going to continue on the top 10 dating scenarios from AskMen.com regarding She Ain't Nothing But a Gold Digger. Be right back, people.
I'm taking my freedom, pulling it off the shelf. Hey, oh, hey, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hello, everybody. This is Madam Coach Correa, Love and Pillow Talk, WGSN-DB radio show. Join me every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern and learn about love relationships and how they relate to your soulmate.
Hey, oh, hey, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Welcome back, people. This is your girl, Dr. MV, and you have just tuned in to WGSN-DB Radio, going solo after dark. This is part 2 of podcast Singles Get Real with Dr. MV. So tonight's discussion, we're talking about She Ain't Nothing But a Gold Digger. And so I have been going over a couple of top 10 signs from AskMen.com regarding a male's perspective related to women who just dig for gold. All right, so we're at point 7, people. So let's just keep this thing moving. Guys are saying that she never pays. Oh, she never pays. So they're saying that when the bill arrives at the table, she pretends it doesn't even exist. And I have to laugh at this particular point that the fellas are making here, because it's funny to me, because you know, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, when you just go back to the basics of basic men and women, now we women, we can appreciate a man who can come to the table and just be a man and provide. You know what I mean? Just provide, not to say that we can't provide, because we can take dominion together, baby. But what I'm saying is this: we can appreciate a man when we're out on a date who can whip out a credit card and say, I got this. I got this. Point 8 from AskMen.com. They're saying that she's curious about your financial status. Oh, though you might mistake her curiosity for interest in your life, she's probably sussing you out to ensure you will be able to pay her way through the relationship. I guess this seems to be an issue for many men regarding a relationship and their position in the relationship as a potential provider. And so here's what I personally believe. I believe that we all have our roles, our primary roles, our secondary roles, our added roles, etc., right? But at the end of the day, no woman really desires to share her entire life with a man who doesn't have the potential to generate finances, right? To generate wealth, right? Doesn't mean that you have to be rich, but you do have to have the ability to generate some type of income, period. Because if you wasn't with us, you would have to generate income for yourself. So at the end of the day, every woman desires, I believe, to be with some man who has the ability to generate finances in the relationship. Okay, number 9. Number 9 specifically says her friends are gold diggers. Basically, you could tell a lot by the company she keeps. I would say the same would be true for men. At the end of the day, it goes back to my earlier point. You choose to be with somebody for a specific amount of time, whether if it's a date, a one-time date, or whether if it's 1 year, or whether if it's 5 years. It takes two people to stay in this situation or the relationship, whatever you want to call it. So at the end of the day, you are kind of who you hang around. And so while this may be true, at the end of the day, you are who you hang around. And so when you get with somebody who is, you notice, is around other females who too like the finer things in life, and that kind of bothers you, be honest about it. Talk to her about who she hangs around and how the people she hangs around add value to her life. So you can see where her mind is, and you can kind of figure out if you're that missing puzzle piece to her world. And if you don't like her honesty up front, then you, sir, can simply walk away. All right. The last point that men are saying about she ain't nothing but a gold digger is this. Point 10. We're finally there, people. She wants expensive gifts. They're saying the gold digger is eager for gifts that are caked with money instead of sentimental value. While this may be true for some, again, it's not true for everyone. There's a book called The 5 Love Languages, and of the 5 love languages, one of the languages is gift giving. This book is really great. I believe the author, his name is Gary Chapman, but it's really a great book. It helps you figure out your primary love language. So when you get with another individual, you're not speaking in a different language than the other person. So you want to make sure that you're both fluent, you understand the love language of the other individual, and you're fluent. So if the lady wants expensive gifts and that's what she likes in terms of, or making her feel like she's being loved, then that's her love language. Does that make her less of a woman? I don't think so. That's just what she likes. I'm pretty sure it's something about you that speaks to what makes you feel loved or what makes you feel valued and appreciated. Now, am I saying personally for myself that a man has to come with me with expensive gifts? No, he does not. I am good with a gift or good with no gift at all. My main thing is come with something to the table, because I'm definitely going to come bringing something to the table, sir. But at the end of the day, it's about being selfless and not selfish. So I want to conclude this particular podcast with a particular notion in my book, okay? My book is called Bride, Becoming Royal in Daddy's Eyes. You can purchase my book on my personal website at www.drmv.net. Okay, so this chapter is called She Ain't Nothing But a Gold Digger. And this is page 88 from my book, and it particularly talks about the gold digger. And I want to end by saying this, and I want to read it to you. It says, fellas, women are digging for treasures in your heart. And if she could be totally honest with you, without the fear of judgment or abandonment, She would tell you how fragile she feels as a woman roaring alone. She would tell you the reason she adopted a hard mentality is because she has been hurt multiple times and is unwilling to risk her heart on another relationship. She would tell you she doesn't want to compete with you, but wants to compliment you as your wife. Not girlfriend, but wife. She would tell you how vulnerable the world makes her feel internally, even though she has to roar externally with an impressive title, her personal bank account, a closet full of clothes, and a fancy car. She would tell you all she really wants is to support a loving husband, not bae, not boo, but a loving husband, and rest on his chest while you caress her hair with your calm touch and unfailing love for her. But because so many have been damaged due to a myriad of things, she hasn't come to God as the healer of her soul. She has become cold and competes with you to secure her own earthly existence. She doesn't want your money, fellas. She desires to have your heart, and in return to give you hers. She is beyond the idea of a gold digger. She digs for the idea that you would value her enough to share the treasures of your heart and make her your wife. Now dwell on that dig for a moment the next time you think about a gold digger. Hey guys, this is your girl Dr. MV. My podcast, Singles Get Real with Dr. MV, on WGSN-DB online radio, going solo after dark. If you want to continue to follow me, please visit my website at www.drmv.net. You can check out all of my social media contacts on my website. Connect with me. I would love to connect with all of my listeners. Thank you for supporting me and the podcast. Tuning in every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is your girl, people, checking out. Until next week, talk to you soon and stay blessed. Peace.
Hey.